Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're continuing the True Boxing annual top 10s as we are going to look at the state of the 147-pound welterweight division. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So the state of 147, we're going to discuss that. It's basically discussing the kind of year that we had in 2024 and heading into 2025. 2024 was kind of an uneventful year in the welterweight division. There really wasn't a lot of big fights. There really just wasn't, a lot of guys tap dancing. I mean, the first half of the year, though, in all fairness, everybody was waiting around to see what Terrence Crawford was going to do. We knew Errol Spence was moving out of the division. We knew Crawford wanted to move to 154, but he hadn't made anything official, and he was holding on to 3 of the 4 belts, with Boots holding on to the other one, nobody wanting to fight Boots. Finally, when he let go of those because he moved to 154, that freed up some things, and we saw decent competition in the second half of the year, with Mario Barrios at the very least, and Boots fought twice in the second half of the year. But the other 2 champions, Stanionis, still waited around looking for an opponent. He's kind of strangled by the PBC because the PBC, God, man, they just don't let their guys fight that often, and it's kind of frustrating. But, Brian Norman becoming a new champ, couldn't land a big fight, and then he got hurt. But they ended on a bright note with Barrios and Ramos in a Fight of the Year candidate for the WBC welterweight title. And I think welterweight is heading in a better direction. I honestly think if you really rank the year, I would give it a C- to a D+ for 2024. But heading into 25, I see unification happening. I think Boots is gonna get Stanionis or Barrios in the first half of the year. And then we are gonna set up potentially another unification in the second half. Brian Norman, I think, is going to get his feet, wet and in the sand and stake his claim over on the WBO side. And I think there's potential with the backing of Turki Al-Sheikh and everything. I think there's potential for us to be staring at an undisputed title fight early in 2026. And I think it's going to be set up this year. I think some of the top contenders, they're going to get those guys to fight because these belts being held hostage by Crawford for all that time, and even Errol Spence prior to him, you had a lot of guys waiting around for their shots. And now I think we're going to get some new mandatory challengers. We're going to get some guys trying to prove themselves. We might get a big rematch with Barrios and Ramos, which will be great. And I just see welterweight being a much better year and everything now that the turnover is complete with Crawford and Spence out of the division. I think the turnover is complete, and now we can start fresh in 2025, and these guys can bring titles together and start making some noise and making the welterweight division what it was before. So really looking forward to 2025 for 147-pound welterweight division. I do think there's a road to undisputed. I do think we're going to see unification, and I think it's going to be a good year. So that's it. That's what I got. That is my True Boxing annual top 10s continued, as this is the state of the 147-pound welterweight division. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.